all you pleasure seekers. Okay, before I start, I want us to stand up, and I want us to move our bodies and scan your body. What would be more pleasurable? Is it a yawn? Is it a stretch? Is it maybe shaking? What works for you?
I was in with the music like earlier and she put me to sleep.
So let's move around and get our jiggers out. You know, there are jiggles out, okay? Take some deep breaths. Move around, move your jaw. What would be pleasurable in your body? Moving your hips, shrugging your shoulders. What would be more pleasurable? I'm thinking a nice stretch and a yawn. Okay. How does that feel, guys? Does that feel good? Okay, I feel better. Okay. Are we good? Let's have a seat. Great. So today I'm going to talk to you about something that I am very passionate about, and it's sexuality, of course. And I want you to keep an open mind as to what all the possibilities that would look like in your love life. And what I'm going to present to you is something that I know has created more passion, more pleasure, and fun in the bedrooms all around the world. How many of you here want deeper connection and hotter sex? I'm glad we're in the right place. How many of you here are single? Okay, how many of you here are a couple? Couple? So whether you are single or in a relationship, these 5 erotic blueprints are a foundation for greater sexual understanding, therefore greater sexual satisfaction. Before I learned of these blueprints, I was overwhelmed with shame and guilt around my body, around my sexuality, around being a woman. I felt completely unprepared, naive about what a healthy sexual relationship with myself and with my partner would even look like. I didn't even know my own basic anatomy of my own lady parts and what those parts need in order for intimacy. I felt unvalued, not valued, and invisible in this culture where women are just to make babies or for men's pleasure. Man's pleasure. I believe that we are kept in the dark about who and what we are in this world. We are the creation of life. Pleasure should be our birthright. And I believe that the patriarch we have let them control our bodies and our wombs, claim ownership of our bodies and our wombs. So I decided, after seeing this oppression in our culture, to educate myself. And eventually I came across Jaya. She is a New World sex educator. She is a world-renowned somatic sexologist, and she is the founder of these erotic blueprints. And she was offering a course. And this course, I learned that I am not broken, that I am, I am not broken, not too much, and that I'm normal and I am turned on in very specific ways. Okay. So I invested in myself, and I took Jaya's coaching program, and now I'm a licensed erotic blueprint coach. So I probably teased you a little bit about these blueprints. You're probably wondering what they are. The 5 erotic blueprints are an arousal typing system. They are your map, your unique map to discover your unique erotic map to pleasure and higher states of arousal. So if you are struggling with not knowing what turns you on, if you have a low libido, if you feel like you're taking crumbs instead of a whole sexual buffet, if you feel like you just don't know what your partner, you're just not connecting with your partner sexually, let's take a look at these blueprints, okay? Okay. So the first one is energetic. And energetics are turned on by space, by tease and anticipation. They like light, hovering touch, deep connection and presence most. They are very, very sensitive emotionally and physically. They can have full body, non-genital, and or multiple orgasms. I hope that's okay that I say non-genital, okay? They are intuitive lovers. They can be very intuitive lovers. They can connect with you in a very emotional or spiritual way. And all of these blueprints have a shadow side or a negative aspect to them. And the shadow side of the energetic is that they can be hypersensitive. Like if touch isn't timed just right, it will short circuit them, totally turn them off. They can be like little antennas and pick up on everyone's negative emotional baggage. They can be let's see. They can be hierarchical. Like someone, I see a lot like people that are in like the tantra community. Well, my way of sexuality is better than your way. They can be that way. So the next one is sensual. And the sensuals are turned on by having all their senses ignited. They love good smells. They love hot baths and massages and dancing, good music, body to contact. They are ones, if they live in a rich world of sensuality, sight, smell, sound, taste, touch. They have aesthetic. They have an aesthetic for beauty and creations of safe spaces. But on the shadow side of the sensual, they have a hard time getting out of their head and into their bodies. They can also worry a lot and project things that are absolutely not true. They also can seem incredibly picky and easily thrown off. Okay? Can you guys hear yourself in some of these? I definitely can. So the next one is sexual. And sexuals are turned on by pure and simple sex. They no frills needed. They love nudity and orgasms and visual images. They are what our cultural thinks men are. They're grouped in that. Where sensuals are the females. It's not true. The sexuals, they are fun to play with, and they can go from 0 to 60 in no time at all. So the shadow side of the sexual is that they can get so focused on the end goal, they forget the whole journey. And also on that same note, as they can get so stuck on just the genitals that they forget that there's a whole body to play with. And the sexuals have like a limited definition of what sex is. Okay? Kind of gives you a little bit. So the next one is kinky. And kinky are turned on by the taboo. But I want to take that and say what they think is taboo. They are turned on by power dynamics, psychological games. They love dominance and submission, or a good spanking, or being tied up. They are very creative, and they have a very large sexual vocabulary. And when shame's not a part of their world, they are able to communicate sexually very well. They can use the sex play as they can go into altered states of consciousness, subspace in the BDSM world, and even healing. They can. Yeah, let's go the shadow side. The shadow side of the kinky is that they can have one fetish or fantasy that leads to just one route to turn on, which leads to a rut, it can lead to a grave, because there's no going back or going forward. It can go further and further into dangerous territory without education, into working with that, or going into edgier territories. So there are two kinds of kinky. There's sensational kinky. It's like that rough, the hemp rope around their wrist or their ankles, or body parts. And like the deep scratches or the thud or the slap of the flogger on their shoulders or body part. And then there's psychological. They're the ones that the turn-ons up here in the head. That's the power dynamics, the submission and the dominance. So the next one is shapeshifters. And the shapeshifters are turned on by all of these blueprints. They need it all and they want it all. You know that song, I want it all? They want it all. They are very creative and they love variety. They're fun to play with. They can become like the fantasy lover. They love just all of it all at once. They're almost insatiable because they want to, they could go for hours and hours and not be satisfied. But on the shadow side of the shapeshifter is that they don't become fulfilled, and they don't know their own sexuality, because they're always shifting to please someone else. They can not, if they don't learn what they want and be able to ask for what they want, they can become chronically dissatisfied. I'm thinking with life. Okay, so you're probably wondering what comes next. Next, you would learn how to feed these blueprints. You would learn how to satisfy, seduce, play with each one of them. The next step would be you would learn to speak the blueprints. What body language would you use with your partner to entice them? Or what words would you use to sext your partner? And what vocal tone would you use to play with yourself or with your partner to turn you on? Next step would be to heal the blueprint. And healing the blueprint is going into that shadow side. What tools, what techniques would you use to be able to let go of that and to learn how to work with your superpowers of the blueprint. The next would be that you would learn how to expand the blueprint. I think this is very important. I think this is my belief, everyone should be a shapeshifter. That's just that's what I think. Because like if you're single, you don't know who you're gonna manifest in your life. And it would be nice to be able to speak and honor that person so they feel heard and seen. And of course, if you're a married couple, maybe your partner's not the same as you. You would want to learn how to speak and hear them too. Okay? I'd like to offer each and every one of you a complimentary discovery session. We would go into what you actually want when it comes to your love life. We would dig deep into that. We would brainstorm on how to get it. And then we would look at the obstacles that might be holding you back. So if any of you feel like you want to dig deeper and find out more about the blueprints, I have a Passionate Possibility session up here, which I call the Discovery Coaching Session, okay? And there's my presentation.
Well, I have questions. So
yes.
When you are training people on these blueprints and you're working with them, so it sounds like you teach them a lot about their own blueprint, but do you teach them how to tap into and respond to these different blueprints or discover what their partner's blueprint is so that they can have that synergy?
That they'd be able to speak and heal and feed each other's blueprints and expand, of course.
So
we
it's
want
not just all about them. It's about
no, it's about you would learn all of this. You would learn,
And so on the shadow sides, do you help them tap into the shadow side and teach them how to bring that more to the light side of the equation? Yes,
I help them to be able to work with their bodies, to be able to transmute them. So, because every shadow side, and if it's not a negative for you, some of those are, hey, that gives you the edge or the polarity of your sexuality or to your partner. But if it's a shadow and it's hindering you in any way in your sexuality, that is definitely a shadow side. And so what we do is we help you get that. Take it to your body, because any of these natives are in your body, and we bring them to the light and we let them, because they've served us. They have served us in some way. And so we thank them and we let them go. Or help transmute them to something else. Yeah. Anything else?
Yeah, how do you determine that you're for a person?
So on my card, there is a little bit.ly on there, and you can take the quiz. Jaya has some videos. She'll give you the percentage of them, and then you can go from there.
It's really fast, too.
Huh?
It's really fast, too.
It's a good quiz, huh?
I took it, I don't think you did.
Oh, okay. It's a good one, huh? It kind of like gives you a percentage of what you... And I believe that the shadow side lets you know where you need to like resource. So you can switch it over to a positive aspect of your sexuality. Okay?
How long does the course take?
Well, I have a couple packages, so I'm not sure what would work best, but in Jaya's course, it's an 8-week course, and I work along with her.
And what type of, is it all online?
It's online, or we could Zoom or with the package, yeah. Okay?
It's really fascinating.
Isn't it? It's fascinating. I love it. I love it. And why I'm doing this is because I want to change how we even think about sexuality, because it's so silent. And only silence only creates shame and guilt around it. It causes so much problems. And I want our kids to know this stuff. Our kids should not live in shame and guilt. We're in a new age, guys. Let's change the world. Let's change how we raise kids. Let's educate them. Yeah. Well, thank you, guys. Awesome. I so appreciate you. Thank you.